Hey, hi guys. So in today's session, we will understand Java string methods. So far, we have seen a few methods like we have seen concat method, dot equals method, and equal to operator in previous video. But today we will understand length method, isEmpty method, and trim method, how it works in program. So length basically it is used to check the number of character in string, and is method it will return boolean either true or false. So if string is available, then it will return false. If string is not available, then it will return false true. And trim basically it removes extra space before the word and after the word. So whatever the extra space will be there, it will remove. So we will see in the programming. So let me create one program and then we can see. So first I'll create one package with the name of, oh, package is already created. Let me create a class. Okay, so class I'm creating with the name of string methods. Now we'll create main method, right? So first I will take one string. Let's say I'm taking string str is equal to taking my name Rekha, right? So this is a string, right? And now let me take one more string str1, or we can say, let me give some name this reference variable name. We can give here email id or email is equal to, I can give some email, let's say rekha@gmail.com, right? Let me take one more string. Let's say it's a password is equal to, we can take some string here. Let's say pass@123. So now we are going to understand string. S will be in capital letter. So first we will understand length method. So how it works, length method. So if we want to check the length of any string, then let's suppose that I want to check the length of this name, right? This. So this name string has been stored in this reference variable name. So we'll copy this reference variable dot, and we will call to length method, right? Now we can check the length of this name string. Let me run this program. It is printing 5 since it is a 5 length of the string. 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. So length of this string is 5. So we can check the length of this email ID as well. This email as well. Let me print it, sys out. So whatever the length, for whatever the string you want to find out the length, you will have to take the reference variable, because this string will store on this reference variable. So we will copy this reference variable here dot, and then we'll call to length method, right? And now we can check the length of this string. Let's run this program. So it is returning 15, means 15 character is available here. Let's count it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 and 15. So it will consider each and everything. which you are using inside this double inverted comma. Everything will consider as a string. So this at the rate also it is considering one character. This dot is also considering one character. So everything will consider as a string. Whatever you will write inside the double inverted comma, it will consider as a string. No matter you are passing, if you are passing 1 2 3 4 any integer number or any float number, then still it will take as a string only, because you are passing in double inverted comma, right? So here we are passing integer number as well, right? So we can check the length of this password as well. System.out.println this out, and then we need to check this. So see, you are seeing some warning here, right? Why it is giving an warning here? Why it is giving warning? Can anyone tell? No, right? So it is giving warning because we have not used this reference variable. So until you are not using this reference variable, it will give some warning, and it is telling us that this reference variable is not used within this program, right? Means until you are not using this reference variable, it means there is no use of this line of code, right? So now once you will use it, let me take this reference variable and dot, let me again call to length method, right? Now see here, see warning has gone, right? And let's run this program. See, last one is returning 8 number. So let's count it. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. See, so it is returning 8. It is considering this number as well as a character. So whatever you will write within this double inverted code, it will consider as a character, right? So this is a length, right? Now let me put here length. We can say this program is for length method. It will be segregated, right? Length method. Now we will see isEmpty method, right? So we can take one string again. String, let's say I'm taking name 1, because name I already have taken here. So I will take now reference variable name 1 is equal to, we'll give some name here. Let's say Peter I am giving, right? So how we can check the isEmpty method? Suppose that this out, and this isEmpty method will return Boolean value, either true or false. So in the interview, basically they ask, most of the time they ask what will be the return type of isEmpty method and what will be the return type of length method. So length method will return only integer value, right? It will always return integer value. So return type will be int. But for isEmpty, it will return Boolean value, right? Either true or false. So return type will be Boolean, right? So let's check. So I want to check this string is empty or not, right? So I will take this reference variable dot. Now I will call to isEmpty method, right? See, you can see here Boolean, right? Boolean string. And here it is specified isEmpty in character sequence returns true if length is 0, otherwise false. If length is 0, then it will return true, otherwise it will return false, right? So now we will call to this isEmpty method, right? So if I will run this program, then it will return false, because here we have some integer, right? It is not empty. So once you will run this program, it will return false. Say it is returning false because here we have some integer value. If I'll remove this integer value and then we can run this program, then it will return true because now we don't have any string here. But if I'll give some space here, then still this space will consider as a string. Now it will return false because I have given some space and that space will consider as a string. See, it is returning false, right? So that space or dot or anything if you are giving under this inverted double inverted code, then it will consider as a string, right? So now it is returning false. If I remove this space, then again it will return true, right? So this is a empty isEmpty method, right? Now we can move into trim method. This is isEmpty method. Now we will see trim method. So mostly they ask in interview what trim do, right? What trim method will do. So we should be aware the use case of all the method. The interviewer can ask any of the method, right? Then you should be aware so that you can explain, right? So how trim works? So again, I will take some string here, right? So let me now take one another string. Let's say I'm taking string name 2 is equal to, let's say again I'm giving name Rekha, right? Now we need to check trim method. How we can check? Sys out, right? And again we will take this reference variable and now we will call to trim method. So what trim will do? Trim basically it is used to remove the extra spaces, right? Extra spaces means it will remove before and after this Rekha. If I'll give some space here, Rekha, let's say I'm giving this much space, right? And after Rekha again I'm giving some space, right? So trim, what will do? Trim will remove this space before Rekha, whatever the space will be there, and after Rekha, whatever the space will be there, trim will remove, right? So let me show you how it is printing. Again I'm printing without using trim, so that you can see the difference between both, right? So as of now I'm not using trim method in this system.out.println. So here it will print as it is as we are passing along with this space, right? But after that here we are using trim method. So here it will trim both the spaces before and after. So let's run this program. See, so first it is printing Rekha along with this space. Before you can see the space, whatever the space I have printed here, right? And after Rekha as well, it is giving some space, right? But in the second one, we have trimmed, right? So it has removed this space, it has removed in this output, right? And after that, also it has removed the space, right? So this is the use of trim method. And if I use, let's say I'm using Rekha, now I'm using surname as well, right? So what it will do, it will remove only before and after space. But whatever the space you will use between two words, right? those space it will not remove. It will remove only before and after spaces. But if you want to remove between these two words, then you cannot remove it, right? So you can remove only before and after with the help of this trim method, right? So let me show you. See, this is printing as it is, as we are passing here, right? Along with this extra spaces. But in the below one, it is removing extra spaces which we have passed before and after. But whatever the space we have given in between both the word, those spaces it is not removing, because it will not remove. It will remove only before and after the word, right? So this is the use of trim method, right? But how we can put the logic? So far we have seen how we can use, what is the use of method length, method isEmpty, method trim, right? But if you want to put some logic, then how you can put in your program? If you want to put some logic, if you want to put some condition, then how you can put it, right? So let's say now I am removing these string. We can take only one string so that it will be more clear to you, right? I am removing these things, right? So now what we will do, let's suppose that this string, right? This is a string. So let's say I am storing this string in one variable, right? Suppose that this length, as we can do, what we can do, remove it. Now what we need to do, we need to store the length in one reference variable. So reference, let's say name, right? Name dot length, right? So we need to check the length and we need to check some condition, right? If you in your program, if you need to check any condition, whether what is like, if you want to check length for any particular string, then how you can check it, right? So you can do one thing, you can store this length in one reference variable. Since this name length will return in integer value, right? So what I'll do, I'll use I and return type will be integer. So I will take int, right? This is a string, but if I am going to check the length, then length will return in integer value, right? Int, right? So that's why I'm taking data type int, and this is a reference variable which you can take anything, right? Now we need to check the condition. So we are saying if we are putting some condition right here. We have seen in the second session how we can use if else condition, right? If you are not aware how to use if and else condition, then you can watch my second video, right? So now here we are saying if I is equal to 0, right? If I is equal to 0, then it means name is empty. Means if suppose that if length is 0, that means we don't have any string, we have not passed any string, that string is an empty, right? So what it will print, sys out, right? It will print name is an empty, name is an empty, right? Else means if length is not 0, means there are some string, right? So what it will do, it will print some value. It will say it's a valid name, right? Sys out, and it will print valid name. So here I have taken an example of name. You can take anything. It could be any string in your programming in your framework, right? So it could be anything which will be written in string. And if you want to check the length of that string, then you can use some you can store in any reference variable, like likewise I have stored in I, right? I is a reference variable, so I am storing this string length in I, and it is returning integer value, and here I am putting some condition, right? So it is checking if I is equal to 0, that means there is no in string and it will print name is an empty. But if there are some, it is like there are some string, right? If any string will be there, it will consider space as well. So any, if any space is there, then it means length is more than 0, right? Then what it will do, it will print this valid name, right? So if there is no any string, then it will print name is an empty, and if any string is there, then it will print valid name, right? So likewise you can put some condition in your program by using this if else condition, right? So this is a length, this is for length. In the same way we can use for this is empty method as well. So what we can do is empty, let me write something here, right? So is is empty, what we can do, it will return boolean type, right? Return type will be boolean, right? So here let's say I'm using here, I can control X, I'm removing this from here, right? So the name, uh, we can take this reference variable and then we can call to this is empty method, right? Now this empty method will return boolean type. So return type we will take here boolean, boolean, right? So is empty method will return boolean value. So that's why we are taking data type boolean, right? And this is the reference variable. So this string will store in this reference variable. So we can put some condition here again. How we can put the condition? If this b, right, this reference variable is equal to true. Why we are putting true? Because it is a boolean value, right? It will return either true or false. So we are printing if this string will return true, then that means there is no any string, right? So here we can print some statement this out, and we can say string is an empty, right? Else it will return some valid name sys out, and here it will say valid name, right? So that means we can run this program and see the output, right? Okay, so it is running before this. We can comment this out so that it will be segregated. Control question mark, right? Now we can run this program and see the output. See, so it is returning this first one. It is returning for this one, length one. Let me again comment this out, right? Now for that length code I have commented, and trim method also I have commented. Now it will run this program, right? So we can run this program. It is saying valid name. Why it is saying valid name? Because here we have some string, right? So in that case, we will be false, right? Because we have some string. It is not empty, means there are some string. So what it will do, it will go inside, it will check the condition first. If like it will check whether v is equal to true. No, it is not true because there are some string here. So what it will do, it will go inside the else condition, it will print this value. So let's say if I will remove the string, then what it will do, it will again check whether this string is empty or not. So now it is empty, right? So it will come again this in condition, if condition, and it will check whether this b, right? B reference variable is equal to true. Yes, now it is true because now there is no any string here. So if it is a true, then what it will do, it will print this name is an empty. So now you can check, now you can see the output, it will print name is an empty. See? So in the same way, if you want to print in one line, then you can print it in one line. And if you want to check some condition, if you want to put some condition in your framework, then you can put like this, right? So we have one another option as well for putting this. Since it is already boolean, right? So it will return either true or false. So if you want to use this like this is equal to true, then you can use it. Otherwise, not required, because this boolean, it will return by default true or false, right? So you can use the b as well. So it will say if b, if there are some string, if there are some string, so it will return false. If there is no any string, then it will be empty. So what it will do, it will print this valid name. Sorry, name is an empty. So again, we can run this program and see the output. It is returning name is an empty. If I'll pass some string here, right? Now it will say valid name, because now this condition will be false, because name is not empty. We have passed some name here, right? Let's run this program again. Name is valid, right? So there are so many ways which you can use in your programming, right? So if you want to use some any condition, then you can use it like this, right? So there are so many ways. So as per your requirement, you can put the condition as well, right? So this is a use case of isEmpty method, right? Now, if you want to put any condition in your trim method, then in the same way, let me comment this out. Now we can see this trim method, how we can put the condition. So if you want to put the condition in trim method, then how we can do? So trim method will always return string value, right? So trim, why it is written in string? Because whatever the space will be there, it will remove the space and it will return remaining string. So that's why we are saying trim always will return string value. So return type of string will be string only, right? So we can see the trim as well. So I already have taken the name, right? And we have seen so far. So now I want to put some condition here. So how we can put the condition? So in the trim, first let's copy this, right? Since return type will be string, so we can take a string data type, and here you can put any reference variable. Let's say I am taking str is equal to, I will put this, right? So I have stored this trimmed string in this reference variable str. Now we can check the condition. How we can check the condition? I will put this if condition. If now first here we can use the length method as well. How? str dot length. First we will check the length, right? So we can use the length as well, and else we can say we can directly print it, right? So if we are saying if string dot length means if this string length is equal to 0, that means there is no any string, right? That means that is the empty string, right? And here we can print some values. Same means if this string length is equal to 0, then that means there is no any string, means empty string, you can say empty, right? Else you can say valid valid string, you can say a valid name, right? So here we are checking some condition, right? So what would be the answer here? What it is going to give the answer? Since we have some string, right? So what it will do? It will trim it. It will trim. Since we are using the trim method, right? It will trim means it will remove this extra spaces before and after this word, right? And it will check the condition. If length is equal to 0, so as of now length is not is equal to 0, then it will come under this else condition and it will print this valid string. Let's run this program. See, so first, since we have used system.out.println, so it is giving name along with this extra spaces before and after. See, and second, it is giving after removing the extra spaces here. Here we are getting trimmed output, right? And in the third one, here it is checking condition, right? So it is checking length is not is equal to 0. So that's why it is printing this valid string, right? Else you can say valid name, right? Let me remove this name. Now this string length, right? This name to length is equal to 0. Now it will satisfy this condition. So what it will print? It will print empty. See, it is printing empty. And why it is giving here space? Because there is no, here we are printing, right? Printing name. So there is no name. So that's why it is giving some space here, blank space, right? And here we are trimming, right? We are using this trim method. So again, it is printing blank. And if we are checking this condition, then we will get to know string is an empty, right? So that's why we put some condition in the programming in the framework, because uh, you will be passing some string, right? And you will, if you will use this system.out.println and if you are trimming it and you will get this blank like this, right? Then we cannot understand, right? Where is the bug, where is the issue, right? Where is the error, we will not get to know. So that's why in the framework we used to use this some condition, so that we will pass some message there, right? So that while reading that message we can get to know that is there any like string is there or not, is there any empty string, or we are passing some value, right? So we can get to know along with this condition. So see, since we have passed this message, right, now we can get to know that there is no any string, that's why it is printing empty. So now what we will do, we will pass some string here. Now it will give proper output, rekha rekha, and this valid name. And whatever the space will be in between this both word, then those spaces trim will not be removing, right? Trim removes only before and after spaces. If I'm giving here the space and here space, then trims method will remove only this before and after space, right? So I hope you understand these three methods. So let me uncomment all the code. Now you can run all the code together, right? Now it is giving all the output in one go, right? So if you want to see the code, then I have segregated. This is a code for length. This is for isEmpty method, and this is for trim method, right? So I hope you understand, and in the next video we will see other string methods. Thank you guys.